This news update is brought to you by This is the Noon Barbados Today update, the midweek edition. It's Wednesday, September 10th, 2014. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dawn Paris. The long wait for the promised duty-free concessions for the hotel sector is finally over. Finance Minister Chris Sinckler broke the news as he addressed the third quarterly meeting of the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association this morning at the Hilton Hotel. He told hoteliers that the concessions will be made available beginning next week. Or Emmanuel Joseph has the story.
Sinckler said even before the final discussions with the lawyers and the documental formalities, he will give instructions to the relevant government departments to put the wheels in motion, but they can be considered granted, he said. He warned the hotel and tourism stakeholders he now expected them to deliver. The minister said they must deliver quality product and services, considering that $400 million has been invested to facilitate their operations. From Hilton Barbados Resort, Emmanuel Joseph for Barbados Today.
The Barbados Workers Union stamps its approval on a resolution calling for an immediate review of the municipal solid waste tax. General Secretary Tony Moore says, while the union will not ask government to scrap the tax, it's insisting that it should be more equitable across the board. Moore made the announcement in an interview with Barbados Today, her first since assuming office.
The tax in its current formulation places or imposes the financial responsibility on homeowners. So you own a piece of land, you construct a dwelling place on it, you have to pay a tax. Individuals who are in rental properties, generating garbage, those persons in home units who would be generating garbage, they don't have to pay a tax. And the view was expressed that while the understanding or the need for imposition of such a tax can be justified, its application needs to be revisited.
It's time for drastic action to be taken to curb lawlessness by some school children on the island's buses, so says head of the Barbados National Council for Parent-Teacher Association, Rhonda Blackman. She tells Barbados Today authorities need to take control now in order to arrest increasing violence and other types of bad behavior among students.
A really serious concern for us is the behavior on the buses. Even if Transport Board could put people in place, or if the police could ride the bus sometimes and put some measure of proper behavior and put these children that are disruptive and make them accountable or charge them or something, make an example that this is the charge them. And I make no apologies for saying that, because if they need to understand there's a certain decorum, there's a certain level of behavior, and when you're wearing your school uniform should be worn with respect.
A helping hand for two local organizations that offer assistance to the poor and needy. As part of its outreach program, the Muslim community this morning presented 15 food hampers consisting of basic supplies to the Barbados Vagrants and Homeless Society and the Justices of the Peace Association.
As you may know, a lot of our members are actually salesmen, traditional salesmen in the community and the countryside. They've been reporting back to us of the dire economic situation and circumstances of people in our community and the country. And with that, just one of our members that we decided that we would do a collection and periodically do this through organizations who pretty much accurately identify those most needy. And so that's what really motivated us, the current economic situation, as well as our religious guidance in terms of assisting those in need.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Hi, I'm Red Plastic Bag. Anyone who knows me knows I don't like cold. Sunshine reigns in my country. I love it.
Sun power.
To news from the region now, Haitian police are still on the hunt for over 200 prisoners who escaped during a jailbreak last month. Only 75 of the 329 escapees have been recaptured, some of whom were found in the Dominican Republic and the Bahamas. Prime Minister Laurent Lamothe says officials from the United Nations and the U.S. Marshals are helping local police in the search for the remaining 255 convicts who've been serving time for crimes such as rape and kidnapping. He says the government will not rest until all prisoners are back where they belong. Further afield, people in flood-stricken Kashmir lash out at the government as they demand relief. More than 400 people have been killed in massive flooding and thousands remain stranded in towns. Residents blame the government for not providing adequate warning before the torrential rains and not doing enough now to help them. However, the Pakistani Prime Minister is assuring his government is doing all it can to help flood victims. And that's where we end our Noon Barbados Today update. We'll be back again at 6 this evening. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.pb, subscribe to our e-paper and our email updates, and of course, like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or on Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you to get all the latest news and sports. Have a wonderful and productive day and be back with us at 6 this evening. I'm Dawn Paris.
This news update is brought to you by